It has been more than a decade since judges in New York State received a pay raise. Their average pay is just over $135,000 at the moment, which is 46th in the country. In some cases, judges are leaving the bench for careers in private practice that pay them 10 times as much. It's a very unusual turn of events. And a new study suggests more judges are fleeing the profession in droves, with nearly 1 in every 10 departing every year. Among them is my next guest. James McGuire was a state Supreme Court judge until just a few weeks ago. He's joining us from New York City tonight. I don't know what to call you. Your Honor? Your Emeritus?
Jim would be just fine, Liz.
Oh, it's good to see you, Jim. You are, of
course,
course,
nice to see you too.
Pataki administration veteran, refugee. But it was a long time ago. Tell us why you decided to make this decision. It's, as I mentioned, very unusual. Usually people end their career on the bench. It's a very high honor.
Well, I think, I would have liked to have ended my career on the bench, but the financial circumstances just didn't allow it. As you mentioned before, it's been a long time, 12 years in fact, since judges got a raise in the state. That means they haven't even gotten a cost of living increase. And that's true of all employees of the state have gotten at least a cost of living increase, except for judges and legislators. And it's very difficult financially when you have a couple of young children to provide for them after years and years of really losing money because of of the cost of living increase going up.
You were interviewed by the New York Times on this particular topic, which is how it became of note to me, although we've been hearing from judges. I mean, judges have been suing even over their pay for a couple of years now. You said that you really enjoyed the work, so was it a difficult decision for you to make?
Yeah, it was a very difficult one because I do love the work, and this job was enduringly fascinating, and it's an extraordinarily important public trust, and I felt privileged to serve. But I just couldn't reconcile staying in the job with my responsibilities to my family.
How many years have you been on the bench now?
I've been on the bench for about 6.5 years, and about 6 years as a justice of the Appellate Division First Department. So
you made $144,000 a year. To upstaters, right, that seems not so terrible. Although I guess when you went in, you expected. I mean, you knew the situation, right? You knew that the legislative and judicial pay had been sort of always joined together and deadlocked. I mean, were you expecting that to change?
Well, yeah, I was expecting it to change. I mean, I think really every judge in the state, even those who were also knowledgeable about the political process, really thought that it was a matter of time. People thought maybe 7 or 8 years ago that it might take another year or 2 years, but I don't think anyone expected that it would take as long as it has. Now it's been 12 years with some excellent prospects for a pay raise, but not until next year.
Right. I mean, governors have been trying to decouple the legislative and judicial pay for a while now. I mean, I can't remember, did Governor Pataki try and do it? I do recall that former Governor Eliot Spitzer did.
Well, certainly Governor Pataki made clear that he would have supported years ago, and he did toward the end of his administration when I was no longer working for him. He made clear that he would have signed into law a straight bill just increasing the judges' pay, but it was unfortunately a logjam, political logjam that prevented the legislature from ever passing a bill that provided only for judicial pay increase and not for a pay increase for the legislature itself.
Well, now we have this Judicial Compensation Commission, which is something that the Chief Judge pushed for, and we're expecting, as you mentioned, that there will be prospects for a raise on the horizon. You didn't feel like you could wait? I mean, they're thinking that September might be actually the verdict on that.
Well, no, I didn't feel that I could wait. It had been, it had been quite a few years of really living off savings and incurring some debt, so I really felt that I couldn't wait any longer, and I was delighted to get a wonderful offer from a wonderful law firm, and I'm not asking anybody to feel sorry for me, Liz. As you said before, a lot of places in the state, $144,000 is a lot of money, and unfortunately, in New York City with young children and the prospect of private school tuitions, it's just really not.
What do you think would be fair compensation for judges at this point?
Well, I think something that would really kind of tend to ensure rough parity with the federal district court judges is something that that the commission, I think, is going to have in mind.
Right.
And it may be something that that the commission actually proposes, a dollar number. You know, I don't really have it, but I think judges just unquestionably deserve a raise. I mean, I think that if you ask people in a poll around the state, is $144,000 for judges, do they deserve a raise? A lot of people would probably say no, but if you said to them, is it fair that judges of virtually all employees in the state haven't had even a cost of living increase for 12 years, I think the polling results would be pretty startlingly in favor of, yes, it's not fair to judges.
Do you think they'd say the same for state lawmakers who are in the same boat, really?
Well, I don't know. I don't think that the legislators would fare quite as well as judges in that poll. But don't forget too that the legislators have, you know, much superior outside income sources than judges. For judges, there are sharp restrictions on what we can do to earn any outside income, and the legislators can, and the legislature has, passed increases in their in the voucher amounts, the per diem amounts that they receive. So there have been ways over the course of that last 12 years where the legislature has been able to mitigate the effect of not having received a pay cut of its own.
You know,
that hasn't been true for judges.
In this time story, there's been some speculation about how there's a devaluation of what judges do generally across the country, and a suggestion that maybe they just don't work all that terribly hard. I mean, I know if you're family court, you know, I know that most people think probably that those judges have a very, very busy docket. But what about, you know, some of the higher echelon judges, like, for example, the highest court?
Well, I certainly, you know, haven't been a judge of the New York State Court of Appeals, or that's our highest court. I know that my colleagues on the Appellate Division First Department work extremely long hours. It's not only that the hours are long in an absolute sense. It's hard work because it's challenging intellectually. The level of complexity of the cases keeps increasing over the years, and that's true for all the hardworking judges that I know who work that I see in Bronx and Manhattan. A lot of them are overloaded with work, and they've lost resources in recent years.
Oh, right.
They don't have the same kind of support that they used to have. In recent months, in New York, in Manhattan, and New York City, I guess all over the state. Actually, I shouldn't limit it to New York City. Lost the benefit of retired judges who served as hearing officers.
Right.
Who took an enormous workload away from the judges. They're gone now.
I got to ask you, though, before you go, I mean, is it hard, now that you've been back in private practice, is it hard when you walk into a room and people don't stand up? It's got to be hard. You don't get to wear the robes. People don't call you Your Honor, although that honorific, I think, follows you around, right? People call you Your Honor, but it's got to be tough.
Well, some do, but I've only been, my resignation was effective a week ago last Monday. So I can honestly report to you, Liz, right now that so far I'm not missing those perks of the job.
Well, I will call you Your Honor just for old time's sake. I want to thank you very much, Jim McGuire, for coming in. It's good to see you.
Delighted to see you too, Liz. Take care.